None of us really know. None of us really know.
I know.
No, I know. Perfect timing, Keith.
Keith, what's up?
Your favorite movie of all time. Step 9.
Oh, good.
How is there any other choice than Remember the Titans being number 1?
I'm curious.
I'm spoiling mine, but
Well, let's see. Here we go. Yeah, that's a good, good
I'm
question,
not even
Brian.
done talking.
you shouldn't be talking at this point.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Apocaflix Movies and Apocaflix Now, our weekly movie hangout show here on the channel, where we hang out, talk movies, television, sometimes video games, and all kinds of crazy things in between. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Hope you guys are all doing absolutely fantastic out there on a Tuesday, pretty much the start of the week. I got 2 cohorts with me today. A 4th will be joining us here in just a little bit. As we continue our Guardians of the Galaxy discussion tonight, we have kind of a 2-parter to our review from last week because we didn't get to discuss everything, had a lot going on, but then we are also going to be doing a full-blown ranking of every major character from all 3 movies. And I will tell you right now, there are 25 of them. 25 characters from all 3 volumes of the Guardians and the Galaxy franchise. So stay tuned for that a little bit towards the end of the show. Let's go ahead and see how the crew is doing tonight. I will start with Gio because I know exactly what Jacob is going to say. So, Gio, how are you doing today?
I'm hanging in there, man. I have been working every day since not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before that, while my boss is in Hawaii. And I wish I were in Hawaii. Damn. God, that sounds good right now. But, you know, cool. Happy to be here. Happy to talk the OGs of Apocaflix. The 3 of us, if you guys didn't know, okay, Jake, Brian, and myself came together, and we were young.
Yeah,
men.
I wasn't there. I wasn't there. Yeah.
Jake, Brian, and yourself?
No, Jacob, Jake, and see, I'm tired, guys.
You either forgot one of us, so that's kind of messed up.
My bad, you guys.
No, it's
But,
okay. Yeah, Brian. That was Brian, not me, the whole time.
Yeah. So, Jacob, I'm gonna follow suit and pour me a beer right now. And Jake, I know you can't have one. You're doing a good thing, but I'm gonna enjoy this one in your honor, sir. So.
Oh, thank you so much for putting that in my face. I appreciate it very much. Yeah. So enjoy your beer, Gio. Enjoy your beer. Jacob, I know exactly what you're going to say, or at least talk about for a little bit. How are you this evening, sir?
I'm not going to mention sports at all. No, I'm doing okay. You're probably referencing my Lakers. They're getting whooped right now, so I don't mind missing this game at the moment. But other than that, doing well, man. This heat is starting to creep up, and I don't mean to be one of those people that talks about the weather, but like when you work at a school, the weather literally dictates everything that you do. Like if it's too hot, we got to go inside. Or if it's just like it's really hot, but not hot enough to where we have to go inside, that's the worst because we have to stay outside with the kids. And it's just dealing with that is crazy. But we'll see. I mean, the Lakers, they won game 1 of each series so far. So they don't have home court advantage. If they lose game 1 and game 2, it's going to be hard. But we'll see.
Damn. I was gonna say see you in the finals, but
Nah,
I don't know about that, man.
Denver and Miami, 2 completely opposite cities.
Hater. Well,
All
how
right,
is Jake
all right.
Berlin doing?
I'm doing good. It's I've had a very productive number of days. I crushed the weekend. We're doing a lot of stuff around the house, obviously, because certain things are coming. And I did a lot of reworking and dump runs and cleanups and just stuff that I need to get done before other things start happening. And then very busy time at work, but doing a lot of things that I'm crushing again and having a good time doing. So I'm going to hit a stage of absolute just knockout. I know it. It's going to happen. But I'm okay right now. I'm riding high and I'm having fun doing it. So I got nothing to complain about. Gabby is healthy. We're healthy.
That's
Dogs
awesome.
are good. So yeah, doing good. So
Life is good so far.
Life is good so far. It's like I said, I truly have nothing to complain about. So
yeah, you got Fast X releasing this Friday, man. Jake is
I mean
living.
that
So
that
you
could
do
be
have
a,
something to complain
that
about.
could be a complaint by the time I watch it. Correct. That by the time I watch it, that might be a major complaint, but we're not there just yet. So I'm hanging on strong for the moment. So yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Well, look, Keith's going to be joining us when he's home working hard. He'll be joining us in a little bit. Before we get to our Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Volume 2 discussion, so many numbers in there. We're going to get to the first segment we always start with here on the show, and that is a little thing called the Movie Watching Challenge. Thank you, Gio. Thank you. As he's drinking a beer down. I appreciate that. Mr. Gio was challenged last week to watch a movie. And remind me, Gio, you watched
The Grand Budapest Hotel.
You watched The Grand Budapest Hotel. So we're gonna get his quick thoughts before a separate video a little bit later this week where he gets to kind of go full breakdown on that movie, and then he gets to challenge someone. So quickly, Gio, kind of sum up your thoughts and a little bit of an elevator review here. What did you think of The Grand Budapest Hotel?
Not what I thought. I thought it was just all taking place within one hotel, which it kind of does, but then the story quickly spirals out and it turns into just this whole other thing that is actually very entertaining. And it's now the second movie I've seen starring Saoirse Ronan. So
Saoirse Ronan.
Whatever.
Saoirse.
She's in that?
Yeah.
I forgot she's in that. I've seen that movie.
Hold up, is that Google?
So Gio, it's Saoirse. Saoirse.
Is she in the hotel or after they leave the hotel?
She's in the hotel.
In the hotel.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's the receptionist, isn't she?
Okay.
No, she's the baker's daughter.
That's what it is. You're right.
The one who
I'll have to rewatch it. Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that side plot with her character and Tony Revolori.
Have you had too much to drink already, Gio?
No, it's just I'm terrible with names, man. Now I understand teachers.
We know you called him Brian earlier. So.
Oh God.
Gio's only good with Hispanic names for some reason. Like he can pronounce them.
Because he can roll his R's. It's because he can roll his R's. So, all right. Well, Gio, is that all you really have to say about the Grand Budapest before we move on, or anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I'll share the rest in a separate video, and didn't want to go on too long. So
yeah, for sure. All right. Well, the floor is yours, sir. You get a chance to challenge someone else on the panel. I have a wheel ready, so why don't you go ahead and set that up and reveal what you'll be challenging that person to?
All right. Well, Keith, if you are listening as you're driving home, you have been challenged, sir. And I wanted to take a little bit of a different approach. These are movies that just hit streaming or have been on streaming for a while. All of them released this year, and it's quite a variety. I got Air, the story about the first Air Jordan shoes, directed by Ben Affleck. Still a Michael J. Fox movie, which I'm hearing a lot of great things about. Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, which was a lot of fun. Check out Jacob and I's reaction that we did on the channel. And A Knock at the Cabin, the M. Night Shyamalan latest feature, starring Dave Bautista and Lashana Lynch and others as well. So there it is.
All right, Gio, tell me when. That way it's not rigged or anything. When do you want me to spin it? Go ahead.
In 3, 2, 1. Don't spin.
Oh, my God.
Spin. What the heck?
What are you doing?
God, this guy.
There we go.
Hey!
I like it. The movie that literally came out today. I like it.
So these are all new releases, like relatively new, right?
All this year.
Wow.
So, Keith, if you're listening, please don't be watching. You're watching Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. So.
Dude.
Awesome.
You're going to be surprised how much fun you had, right, Jacob? That was a surprisingly fun movie.
It was. They did a good job. They did a really good job. And it gives me hope because Hasbro and E1, You know what property they own, Power Rangers. So
They're always going to screw up Power Rangers, Jacob. Just live with it. Just live with it.
Dungeons and Dragons is a pretty good movie, right? Like it's fun. If they make a Power Rangers movie just as good as that, I'm okay with it. But it has to make money though, which it won't. So
Which
D&D did.
It did.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. And Jacob, the 2017 Power Rangers movie, I'm hearing more and more people come around to it. They watch these clips of the movie and they're like, wait, what movie is this? And, I think it's finding new life. Now, they'll probably do a reboot, but I prefer seeing a sequel. Yeah. So,
yeah, we'll see.
All right. Well, there it is. We'll get to hear Keith's thoughts on Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves next week. And hopefully he'll be joined by one of the three of us. It could be either of us because we've all seen it and probably would want to talk about it. So look out for that.
Idea.
But with that said, let's go ahead and shift gears into our first pretty big topic of the show. We're going to open the floor back up for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We talked about it for about 30, 40 minutes last week, but really didn't get to dive into a lot of stuff revolving around the movie just because we were cut short on time. So we're going to spend some time a little bit here discussing the third installment of that franchise before we get into a full-blown character ranking of the franchise a little bit later on in the show. So let's just dive into it, boys. I mean, do either of you have something that's been sitting with you that you really want to discuss that we didn't get to last week? Anything that kind of comes to mind?
Well, I know last week we talked heavily about the tone and how dark it got at times. With especially the high evolutionary and the characters that Rocket grew up with, Tifa, Floor, Lila, Rocket, and just that incredible and sad side plot. I want to talk a little bit more about Adam Warlock. I've been seeing the clips of the movie have made it online and on YouTube, and I'm surprised it hasn't been taken down. But I don't want to make it seem like I'm not looking forward to Warlock and where he goes next. But when I talked about his introduction, I understood what they were going for and what they were trying to do. But again, the execution of it it didn't work with me, and so, but I'm still looking forward to the character. I'm curious where he pops up next because if it's not Guardians of the Galaxy
pop up
4, could it be when there's a Nova special presentation? Like, where do you guys see in the character fit in from here? Is it Kang Dynasty?
I don't think we'll see. So, just real quick, you mentioned Guardians 4. I don't think the Guardians franchise will continue. Personally, I don't think a proper Guardians of the Galaxy titled film will be made without James Gunn involvement. I think that franchise is done. Personally, I think that these characters can easily fit into other properties in other ways without them being in a movie about themselves. Second, I think it's going to probably be an Avengers movie. Outside of the Marvels, which it would be too befuddled if they all popped up in the Marvels. Off the top of my brain, there is not a space-centric story that would make sense for them to fit into. There's no Thor. There's no other characters that are operating in the galaxy outside of them. It would make the most sense for them to be in an Avengers film because of Rocket and Nebula's relationship with the Avengers, because of Star-Lord's eventual connection to the Avengers, which I think we all agree that he is going to be joining them in some capacity. The Avengers or maybe another Earthbound team. So yeah, it makes the most sense for the Avengers because that would be the next thing that would be taking place in space, from what I understand and know. So,
that makes a lot of sense. There's no way and if you're just talking about Adam Warlock, Gio, there's no way they just shove him into the Marvels. Like, why would they do that? And I know the schedules got shifted and stuff, but why would they show him in back-to-back movies so close together? just doesn't make sense. But so we met like not ready Warlock, right? So he hatched too early or whatever. So he's gonna eventually master his powers, get stronger, possibly. So I think he's gonna be a heavy factor in Secret Wars and King Dynasty. Like, I mean, if we don't see him in King Dynasty's first, right?
Yeah.
So I think he will 100% be in Secret Wars. Maybe King Dynasty. Maybe the King Dynasty movie will be smaller, like those characters that King affected personally, like go after him or something, and then Secret Wars will be some huge thing where I think all the Guardians that we saw at the end of the movie, I think they'll show up. Peter will already be there because he'll be with the Avengers, and we'll see like a little reunion, I think. Like, I think we'll see Peter and Rocket reunion in Secret Wars, honestly, which would make sense. He'd be like, Peter will be like, "Whoa, you've done a great job with the new team, whatever." So I think that's where we'll see Adam, I think.
And that kind of triggered something, Jacob, when you're talking about that. Gio, it's a great question for Warlock, and I don't want this to branch off too much because I want to stick with Adam Warlock. I want to talk about him. I think the bigger question is, when do you think we'll see Star-Lord next?
Yeah,
when could we see which property? Because he's on Earth, right? And most of these stories take place on Earth. When will we see him next? Because he doesn't fit into a lot of properties, and which characters does he have the best relationship with that are Earthbound? That would make sense, right?
Well, he did fight alongside Spider-Man on Titan, so I could see that if King Dynasty focuses on like, Spider-Man, perhaps Sam's cap,
and he'll remember Spider-Man. He just won't remember Peter.
Yeah.
No, well, see, that's the question. This is the question, right?
Is it just Earth or not?
Was the spell just Earth? So is this their way? Is Star-Lord the connection to everyone finding out who Peter Parker really is? Like the fact that he has been here the entire time, everyone forgot him. Is Star-Lord the connecting tissue?
So we'll have to go back and look exactly what the spell says. Like, does it say? I mean, I guess Doctor Strange is just like doing it in his head, right? He doesn't actually say it out loud. I mean, maybe I don't know Strange's powers.
I don't think they would be. I don't think they reach the end of the universe. Personally,
well, why would they be worried about people in space anyway?
That's what I'm saying. We talked about this. Who did we talk about this with? Was it Hulk or someone else was in space at the time that it happened? And we were like, "Whoa, wait a second."
I think we talked about it after No Way Home also.
Yeah.
It says, Strange says that everyone on Earth would forget Peter Parker exists.
Dude, that's big time.
Oh my God. I didn't even think about that.
So Star-Lord knows that Peter Parker exists. He is the only person on Earth right now that knows Peter Parker exists.
They're going to have a moment where he's going to, like, Spider-Man's going to be in his mask. He's going to be like, Peter.
Yeah.
Like, how do you know who I am?
Yeah, it's got to happen. It's got to happen.
They're both named Peter also. They're going to do something with it.
See, the interesting question, though, is like, okay, so Star-Lord in a Spider-Man movie, that's very interesting, right? That's something that we never expected to see. We don't know technically. Did it say which state Star-Lord was in, by the way? At the very end of the movie? Was it Montana? So that's a very far way away from New York. How does he get there? How does he get involved? Who does he get in touch with? It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. But if Peter Quill is the connecting tissue to finding out who Peter Parker is,
that's pretty cool. I never even thought about that. Like, that could be awesome. And because the thing is, like, if nobody ever knows who Spider-Man is, like, how do they unravel that? And that's a way to do it. That's totally a way to do it. And yeah, they could talk about their good times back on Titan, I guess. When they
another piece, and we always forget about him because he's obviously been MIA for a little bit. We know that Nick Fury keeps tabs on everybody. Could he possibly find a way to? Oh, that's who we talked about. He wasn't on Earth.
Oh, that's why. Yep.
Nick Fury wasn't on Earth when this happened. So we talked after No Way Home. We talked about how Nick Fury was in space, and in Secret Invasion, he's obviously coming back to Earth, so he knows who Peter Parker is.
Yeah.
So if I were to take a guess, it would make more sense for Nick Fury to be the person. I like the Star-Lord ideas because I think it's hilarious that he would be the one to kind of trigger everything. But I'm wondering how Peter is going to get involved in everything, Peter Quill. It would make sense for Nick Fury to be like, why are you here? I'm tracking you. Okay, you're doing this now. And he like takes him out of Montana and they go to New York or whatever.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing about Star-Lord, though, is supposedly in Guardians 2, his celestial part was destroyed, right? Supposedly. Then, like, he didn't have his mask or his rocket boots in Guardians 3.
Didn't his mask get destroyed, though?
I think the boots did in Guardians 2. I don't know
thought
about the
mask got destroyed in either Infinity War.
Did it?
I could
might
be
have.
wrong.
No, because I remember him coming through the portal and
with it
his
on
mask, and it reveals him. But
we never talked about it. He didn't have his mask in this movie, and I kind of missed it, to be honest.
Gio, I don't think he had his mask on. We saw Spider-Man's mask come off.
No,
I mean,
I'm pretty sure he was.
There's a way to find out, but he comes out ready to shoot, though.
Yeah.
But, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to explain.
One project I didn't consider that either Warlock or Star-Lord would appear in would be What If Season 2.
Oh well, yeah.
Like,
but even if they do, it's gonna be an alternate universe version of them.
But true. Yeah.
I could see Peter. I don't know if I see Warlock just yet because I would love to.
Well, remember at the end of Season 2, Ego comes to get him in that alternate world.
Yeah. So I think Star-Lord is definitely coming in What If, but I would really like to see Adam's story fleshed out a little bit more, because if they were to do like a What If, I would love to see the comic book version of Adam Warlock taking the gauntlet in a
Wielding the gauntlet, yeah.
With his alter ego Magus, his evil version of himself.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to see the character fleshed out a little bit more until they touch him, because then it would have a little bit more of an impact rather than just like kind of throwing it in there for Season 2. But yeah, I think Star-Lord's a great addition to a What If Season 2. Obviously, right, like Jacob mentioned, instead of Yondu coming to get him, you get Ego coming to get him, and then that turns into something very interesting.
I mean, I would have to imagine the Avengers would need Warlock to help take on the Council of Kangs, right? I mean, that many.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, go ahead, Gio. Sorry.
No. I think that would be the safe bet, like the one to put that everybody would put money on. You know, like, okay, that's when he next appears.
I agree. The only thing is you definitely have to find, and maybe they did it this way by basically making him like an infant in this movie as far as ability. Yeah. You do have to dumb his powers down. If at full capacity, whenever he reaches full capacity, he is without a doubt the strongest being in the universe. No question.
Yeah.
And it's hands down. So.
And that's a common issue that, filmmakers run into when you come across characters like these and, putting them in a position to where you can tell a compelling story, right? You think about the first Captain Marvel movie and how for most of the movie, or pretty much almost all the movie, she's like, she has these little devices on her that she can't, power. And then like she doesn't truly tap into her power at the end, where she just completely destroys Ronan's ship. And it's like, did you really need Lee Pace for that?
Yeah.
But it's I think he can go unleashed when Secret Wars comes about. And
I like the character. I'm very excited for the character. I have a lot of comic history with the character, and so I want to see certain things with him. It's unfortunate that, and you can't do it in movie form, but he was such a big part of like the Gauntlet storyline in the comic books.
Yeah.
I didn't love him in this movie because of the route they took, but that's mainly because I was in like a shell-shocked kind of like watch, just seeing what they were doing with the character. It's good because I was not expecting that type of outcome as far as like the infant ability and kind of like language and mindset of like babyfied he was essentially. It very much caught me off guard because that was not broadcasted in the trailers whatsoever. They kept him a secret. They showed very little of him, and what they showed of him, he was punching someone or flying. And so I was like, "Oh, this is going to be cool."
He was beating Nebula,
yeah, like he's gonna be a big part of this. And I'm not saying I hated the character, but I was very much just shocked to find out that he's essentially an uncontrolled little infant with these gigantic powers who doesn't know what's going on because he was born or whatever too soon. So
yeah, I noticed there's, Geo's like kind of wasn't satisfied with his appearance. Jake, you're kind of on the fence. I actually really liked him, to be honest. And I do agree that the hatching too soon and him not being fully developed type thing and the way that affected his personality, that caught me off guard. But once I got over that, I was like, okay, let me just take the character in. I liked him because he just added something different. And I wish they would have done more with his mother dying. Like, I mentioned this last time, like, it feels like, oh, his mother died, and then, yeah, he was sad, but, like, he didn't really change that much. He just continued to be the same character. And I'm like, I feel like that should have just infused some rage in him, and he should have went crazy. And I'm not saying he should have been the one to defeat the High Evolutionary. He shouldn't have been, because this was Rocket's story.
Right.
But, like, he could have just went ham on the High Evolutionary's guys or something after his mother died. And I think that was a missed opportunity to maybe show a glimpse of, like, his true powers.
To show that evil side a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. And then kind of just make the audience real. I mean, I think we're supposed to think that he's a scary character, that he could eventually be super powerful, but they could have showed us a little glimpse of that. But as far as him, like, reacting to things as a child and, like, the roasting the guy when he was just supposed to, like, scare him, I thought it was funny. Like, it wasn't in the movie enough to, like, negatively impact it that much.
Right.
In my opinion.
Fair.
There were certainly some fun moments, like you talked about roasting that guy.
Yeah, and I did like the moment in the third act with Groot. I forget what happens. Groot saves him at some point, right? And then he says, "Why'd you save me?" And he says, like, "What was that for? Why'd you save me?" And then Groot says, did they show subtitles? Groot said everyone deserves a second chance.
I don't think it was Groot that saved him.
No, it might have been. Oh God, who was it? Was it Nebula?
Who said that?
It might have been Nebula.
I think it was Groot, and they showed subtitles on the screen.
But no, because Warlock wouldn't have understood him.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Was it Nebula? Huh. You're right, because
someone in the chat might. Someone in the chat might.
Oh, it must have been Drax. Man, okay. So Groot saves him. He says, "I am Groot," and then
Drax translated for Groot. That's what.
Doesn't Warlock say what he say?
And then I think Drax translated. So
okay,
that makes sense.
Yeah. So I like that moment because, like, it'd be easy for them to, like, not give a crap about this guy. He destroyed their home, attacked their home, almost killed Rocket, like, effed them all up. Like, they have every right to be mad at him, and so that was a cool moment.
I'm looking forward to seeing what they did with Warlock. I don't know when we're going to see him next. I think there's a chance we could take a break from the Guardians, even though we've kind of had a break. Yeah. I think there's a chance we don't see them for a little bit, which I think is okay. And I think that plays to the end of the movie as far as, Star-Lord will return, right? Didn't say the Guardians, which we expect to see Rocket and Groot
at some point.
But they're going to put the emphasis a little bit on Star-Lord right now, which I like. They're putting him in a different atmosphere. It's just a question of when. So I'm excited for it.
I keep watching that little clip that goes viral on the internet where he first enters and you see him like from a distance, and it's that like the more I watch that, the more I just man, like I want to see more of him. I can't wait till he comes back.
Yeah. Jacob, do you have anything that you would like to bring up that we haven't talked about?
It's relatively small, but I do think like this character deserves some more shine, and it's just about Cosmo. I think, and look, I love the character, personality, voice, loved it all. But the thing for me is I want to talk about is her powers. Like she's telekinesis, right? But like she's pretty damn powerful if you think about it. Like she was able to hold those two ships together in space. I loved when she uses the two bricks and like crushes the alien. Like that was so cool.
It's very Scarlet Witch like.
Think about this for a second. Imagine if Cosmo, like fully like angry, right, had to fight the original Guardians team by herself. She'd probably win. So because she could literally just like crush their bodies. She has telekinesis. So like, she really could. So, who could stop her?
Probably
like,
Yondu.
Maybe, yeah. But Yondu wasn't really part of the team. Kind of was. I wasn't including Yondu when I said original team. But
yeah, I had to dig deep to find.
But still, like, even if like, maybe she stops the arrow from hitting her, like she could. So I just think it's pretty damn cool that they introduced just like a regular dog as a character who obviously got sent to space by the Soviets and got some type of powers and ability to. Her collar thing helps her communicate, right? Like it's just, yeah. So
Jacob, do you know about anything of her or the character from the comics?
Not necessarily, not really. But I just want to like. I think it's pretty cool that they introduced a dog that's that powerful.
So, the character has the ability in the comics, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And while the character does kind of operate a little bit as far as action and gets involved, it's a he in the comics. Cosmo is essentially the Guardians' handler in the comic books. He sets up missions. He's controlling everything on nowhere. He's kind of taking all of the information, etc., and passing it on. Like I said, he gets involved.
He's like their manager.
He's essentially like a manager, head coach, handler.
That's crazy.
Could be of the new team.
Yeah, and I don't like. Obviously, we saw Cosmo involved at the end of the Guardians, but I would also be a little surprised if we do see Cosmo in something like Secret Wars. I don't know how much. Like, I get it. Telekinesis is very powerful. I get it. But how much involvement that character can really have over, like even the same question goes for Kraglin. Like, I know Kraglin has the arrow, but how much involvement can that character have over characters like Rocket, Groot, Warlock, the young girl? Like, I get they're a part of the team, but I do think there's a possibility that the next time we see him, it's a little different.
Yeah.
And it just kind of goes a different direction. Not a knock against the character, because I like the character and I love the character from the comics. And ever since they teased her in the original Guardians, because she was in the Collector's cell, I've always wanted to see her. I think, or him technically back then, but now her. It's a great character, and I'm happy they brought her to the screen. I just don't know how much involvement she'll have in a fight against Kang.
No, I see what you're saying, and like, even though the way they set the character up, it would be viable. It would be weird, like, to see the end game battle and see Cosmo running around.
Yeah, but
we had Howard
the Duck. So,
like, we saw him from a far distance, but still, like, can you take it too seriously if you see a little dog running around, like, and just crushing people with rocks? Like, I think that would be cool, actually, but it might. Yeah, I think you might be right, but I think we'll see her again for sure, but maybe not in a Secret Wars or Kang Dynasty.
Oh, if whenever we see the Guardians again, I think she shows up 100%. Wherever the Guardians show up, I think she shows up. I have a question for you guys that isn't more so relating to the movie. Just kind of a general question about the franchise. Do you think that we will see more Guardians of the Galaxy movies?
Yes, I think it'll be some time, but see, originally I was gonna say if James Gunn writes it, but James Gunn is gonna be way too busy.
He's done with Marvel. He's done.
Yeah. But I don't think you leave. I mean, just look at how it's performing financially. It only had like a 47% drop after this weekend, and it's the lowest drop since 2018, before the pandemic. Right. Which well deserved, honestly. Like it absolutely deserves that. But I do think we see another Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I don't know. There was a lot of movies that Kevin Feige did not announce when he showed Phase 6. He gave us Fantastic Four and then the 2 Avengers movie, but there's a whole lot right there, which I think one of them.
I don't think another Guardians movie comes there though.
Maybe Phase 7.
Yeah.
The reason I ask is, and I don't want to be, like a negative Nancy towards it, because I love the characters, but can you see a Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 4, whatever, and on the poster is Rocket, Groot, Adam Warlock, Kraglin, Cosmo, and the little girl?
No way.
There's no Star-Lord. There's no Drax. There's no Gamora. There's no Mantis. There's no Nebula.
Here's what I think they do. I think Gio's right from a business perspective. And we have to talk about that, because it's a factor. Disney, Marvel, I think they will. When? I don't know. But it won't be that team. We'll see that team again in Secret Wars and stuff. And then some time will pass. They'll do another Guardians movie, but I think because it's going to be really hard to sell that without Chris Pratt, right? Does it
or Zoe Saldana,
Dave Bautista.
I think we'll see the team evolve through other movies, and I think somebody, a big hitter. I'm not saying a Captain Marvel, but imagine if she joined the Guardians of the Galaxy.
She could be. She very well could be.
There you go. Now you can make a new Guardians movie and have it be formidable at the box office and all that.
They've already set up that she, after or during Endgame, that she's not on Earth. She's operating in space because she's essentially space's cop. She's the space cop, single space cop.
And she's literally guarding the galaxy. So
and she knows that the Avengers are on Earth. So why does she need to be there? So they have set her up to be basically a spacebound hero. So there is a chance that she could join them.
I could see a whole new team, but
we could also
still
see
having Rocket and Groot.
And this is a crazy idea, and I don't think it'll ever happen. But it is interesting. You could throw away the Eternals name, and some of them could join the Guardians.
They definitely could. I think that's what happens. They pluck different characters from the MCU, and they keep Rocket, Groot, Adam Warlock, maybe, and
the eventual appearance of Nova. Thank you, Stardrew, for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Nova eventually joining. Nova is a member of the Guardians at one point. So
it'll be a whole new squad, but we'll have characters and actors and actresses in there that will be legitimate as far as trying to sell a $1 billion type movie.
And you have to get. Oh, go ahead, Jake.
I was just gonna say it's just so hard for me to. And I guess it's just for right now. It's so hard for me to get behind a Guardians of the Galaxy franchise without seeing James Gunn's name on it.
You know what I think will happen?
Very, very difficult.
How these have been Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3. It won't be Volume 4. It'll be and it won't be the same type of music is heavily infused. I don't think so, because is he going to keep updating the Zune 2010s, 2020s?
Well, remember, Star-Lord's not involved.
No, I know, but Rocket has the Zune, right?
Yeah, but he was given a list that had decades on it. So technically you could.
It went up to 2000s on there. That's how far it went. Yeah. So
maybe remember this, Jacob. Star-Lord is now on Earth, who is now getting involved in the 2010s, 2020
exactly.
Music. So he could be sending that to Rocket.
No, he totally could. He could be hey.
The reason why I think it could be Volume 4, Guardians of the Galaxy double colon something is a massive effing title.
No, I know.
That's a massive. That's a lot of words.
Yeah,
and I don't see them throwing a subtitle on a franchise that hasn't needed a subtitle. You didn't need it, right? Like Captain America, they all had subtitles. Thor, they all had subtitles. Iron Man didn't need a subtitle.
I just think like, all right, the music element was obviously connected to Peter, right? But they made a strong point to make sure, all the Guardians know these songs and like these songs now, especially Rocket. And maybe that's why they showed him interacting with the music so much in this movie. So that way, when you go into 4, okay, now it's a 2000 soundtrack, right? Or whatever, which would be very different from the classic rock and stuff we've been getting in the first 3 movies. But yeah, it could be. I think they do eventually make one, but it's going to be a reloaded roster for sure.
You would have to get somebody who can work music into movies and B have thank you, because Marvel, and I'm sure Kevin Feige, specifically Kevin Feige, would love to get Edgar Wright back into the MCU fold again. And if you give Edgar Wright Guardians of the Galaxy 4 and what he can do with dude, I'm telling you, man, Kevin Feige.
There's a lot of directors that work really good with music. I named Edgar Wright because he's probably the best now. That is outside of people like I would say Tarantino's definitely up there with music.
Tarantino, yeah.
I personally would say Edgar Wright, but Edgar Wright typically doesn't operate in like the sci-fi.
Is that Andy who said Edgar Wright is overrated?
Yeah, he's not an Edgar Wright fan, but Edgar Wright doesn't operate in that type of world usually. Doesn't mean he can't. But remember, when he was going to do Ant-Man, it was an extremely different project from what it is now. It was much more grounded and different and unique rather than like that huge, gigantic blockbuster type. So I don't see him doing it. But there are plenty of directors that could easily do a Guardians movie that deal really, really well with music. And it could even be someone that we don't even know about.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's a good point.
I will say Marvel was at a very different point when Edgar Wright was doing Ant-Man.
Oh, 100%.
They were still establishing themselves, but 100%. Nowadays you have like Ryan Coogler, you have Chloe Zhao, and so you have these.
Hey, Coogler's good with music too, honestly.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's other movies I want Coogler to do, but I'm not going to reveal.
No, for sure.
All right, gentlemen. Any final words on Guardians 3 before we move on? We got to get to this ranking because it's a big one.
Yeah, I mean, I the more and more I think about the movie, I like it even more. Like I'm so happy because it's like all this controversy going on these past couple years. Like, thank you, finally something.
I agree with you. I think that I mean, what a fantastic ending to this series. And I don't want to do this to you guys, but I have to because it's how my brain works. Gun to your head, Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy or Captain America trilogy?
Oh, man.
As the best MCU trilogy, because they are widely considered the best currently right now.
It's the Captain America trilogy.
Agreed. I like the first Avenger more than Volume 2.
Yeah, that's the difference there, honestly. And then if we were to rank those 6 movies, I might have the top 2 Cap movies at the top.
Yeah, I gotta go Cap. I gotta go Captain America, but it's so damn close.
It's very close.
If Guardians Volume 2 was like a little bit better, maybe it'd be a conversation. Yeah. But yeah, it's got to be Cap.
Okay, so let me ask this then: better final movie, Civil War or Guardians 3?
Guardians 3.
Interesting. Okay.
Using it that way, yeah.
I'm still gonna stick with Civil War personally.
Sure.
That's hard. That's really hard. I think Guardians 3 wrapped up this Guardians team better than Civil War gave a conclusion to Steve Rogers because it wasn't a conclusion.
It was a segue to Avengers essentially.
Basically, Endgame was his Guardians 3 in a way. So I'll go Guardians there.
All right, a couple questions before we get to the ranking here. This is from Dom. Thank you so much, Dom. Appreciate it. Could you see them doing another special on Disney Plus? They could cycle, fine-tune the lineup that way with less at stake. Yes, Dom. We talked about this a little bit earlier and on shows in the past. I think the next special that we're going to get is Nova, who could very well be the next major addition to the Guardians team. Nova's coming at some point. He's a huge character, very powerful. He is literally Marvel's Green Lantern. He's a space cop, and he's going to be a member of the Guardians, no question. So.
That's the way to do it. Dom solved it. That's how you do it. That's how you update us on the Guardians. And they've already did one, and it was great. So, yep.
Shane's got a question. Could you see Nolan doing a Marvel movie?
I wish, but no.
No, right. I think Nolan's done with the superhero genre. I mean, as great as a salesman as Kevin Feige is, I think Nolan's just doing completely different movies now. So,
yeah, he's just a different time. And he did the superhero stuff, and he can move on. So,
yeah,
I would love to say it, but right now. There's not a property or there's not a direction Marvel is going that calls for Nolan. So, because it's all about connecting and moving into a bigger thing, and
it would have to be a solo, like a Elseworlds movie, and they're not doing that. So
for sure,
yeah.
All right, we're gonna get to our character ranking, guys. We have 25 Guardians of the Galaxy characters to rank. Before we get to that, update on Keith. He will not be joining us tonight. He's got some stuff going on with his kiddos at home. He sent us a message, sends his apologies for not being here. But the three of us will make sure that we are taking care of that.
Let's do it. Let's keep it going.
Here we go. 25 Guardians of the Galaxy characters. You can see them there below. And FYI, we have 3 versions of Groot and 2 versions of Gamora on this list. So because they are a little bit different from each other. And I know that baby Groot and current Groot are the same, but they are different and a little bit different in each movie.
So just to be clear, James Gunn confirmed that the Groot in Guardians 1 died, and then
it's a different character.
Born.
It's a different character. Yeah. So every time that happens, a new version of him is born.
I mean, I know some people will play, it's still Groot, but technically a Guardian died in Guardians 1. Think about it that way.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we're gonna start. We're just gonna go in order. Unless anybody wants to start with a certain character, I think we should just start with in order.
Let's go with your order, because then we're gonna choose our favorite character, and then we know where that's gonna go. So I think you should go in order.
We are going to start with Glenn Close's character from Guardians 1. She has a name that I'm not going to try to pronounce because it's in all kinds of certain language. And I'm just going to call her Nova Prime because she was the leader of Nova, even though that's what the planet is called. But Glenn Close's character for the moment, because it can all change. Where are we putting her, gentlemen?
21 to 25.
Really?
I love Glenn Close. Okay, she looked great in the movie, but all she did was give some orders and tease Star-Lord's, mysterious, past, and like your genetics is something we haven't seen in a long time, and then we don't ever see her again. She probably got decimated on Xandar, but we didn't see that either. Apparently, there was a deleted scene from Infinity War that we'll probably never see, but 21 through 25.
Damn.
But you could put her 6 through 10 right now, or put her 1 through 5, and then we'll see where she ends up.
That's rough, Chio. That is rough, Jacob.
I'm gonna go 16 through 20, but she's gonna be at the end of that cusp. Oh, it's not that I don't like her. She's just not in the series enough. That's all.
No, that's fair.
That's the only reason.
Fair. For the time being, just to see where it shakes out, I would say 16 to 20 as well, but at the end. She very well could fall very quickly, but I would like to see where she goes after putting her through 16.
Yeah, because I'll say there's characters that have more screen time that I like less. So so that's why I put her a little bit higher.
Let's start her there. All right, let's move on to our boy.
Taser Face.
Taser Face from
1
Guardians
through
5. Look, great character. I think he's definitely gonna fall. A very fun type of character. But for the moment, I would probably put him in 16 to 20.
Did he die? I don't remember.
Did. He was trying to
he got
send a
blown
message.
up. I think he got blown
Sovereign.
up.
Yeah. If he survived, I would say he'll be the leader of the Guardians in Volume 4, but he died. So
he goes above Glenn Close for me.
I'm fine with that.
Everyone in the chat, if you're wondering why we don't see Lila, Floor, and Teefs, that's just because I did not want to relive that and go through that again. So they are just not on here specifically because of that reason.
It's metaphorical.
All right, this is Gamora Volume 1. This is the original Gamora from original Guardians 2, Infinity War. This is the top one.
I think she'll end up 6 through 10, but I'll go 1 through 5 for now.
I like starting her at the top as well.
I agree, but I do think she'll end up 6 through 10.
Okay.
And are we talking about the arcs in just the Guardians movies, or am I going to consider like her in Infinity War?
You're including everything, but these are only characters that are only in the Guardians movies. Obviously, the Guardians themselves pop it up in other stuff, but like Aisha is only in these, and Peter Serafinowicz's character is only in these. Ego.
But for me, I'm incorporating what happened in Infinity War when I'm thinking about her character for sure.
Right. So that's why I wanted to clarify.
All right, Baby Groot.
Baby Groot.
Look, I love Baby Groot, and his intro in Guardians 2 was incredible. He had some really fun moments. He's a little vicious at times. He saved the world in Volume 2, but I would probably say 6 through 10 for the moment.
Oh yeah, he might even end up lower, to be honest. Yeah. But we can start him there. Like
I'll go 11 through 15. With confidence that he'll drop 16 to 20. Yes, the character is cute, but I mean, like,
and Gio hates that.
No, I just like I don't know. I tend to skip through the dance. Like it
Why
was
do you
fun
skip
the first
through
time.
movies? Like who does that?
Because I don't want to sit and watch it. Like I don't know. Like it was cute the first 2 times, but it's just like I don't know.
Wow. But all right, here's the reason for me why I put 11 through 15. Because I'll
wait, you're putting in 11 through 15?
Yeah, spoiler, I like the other 2 Groots more.
Okay. Well, I
think I'll agree with you with that. I think the other 2
I don't think there's going to be 3 Groots in the top 10. There could be.
There you go. That's who I was thinking of. Baby Yoda. I'm like, Baby Groot wasn't the phenom, at least in my opinion, that everybody knows Baby Yoda. Everybody's like Baby Yoda.
But everybody knows Groot though. But
but Baby Groot came and went like fast.
Oh, wow. That's just because he grew so fast.
True.
By the end of Volume 2, he was literally a teenager. All right, Mantis, another big one. I love Mantis. I do
too.
I don't know if she's a top tier 1 through 5. I don't know.
I'll put her 6 through 10 only because of that she was so good in that special presentation. I think she'll drop 11 through 15 though. But
Jacob, do you agree?
Yeah, 6 through 10.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually I think we need to appreciate her character more. Like she's very, very powerful.
Yeah.
She
put Thanos to sleep.
She's ego, right? The whole planet, like she was able to hold him off for a while.
Yeah.
So she's formidable.
All right, current Groot. I like this Groot a lot. And this dude is powerful. That scene he had with Star-Lord when they were shooting the guns and stuff
came out.
Like he is very powerful, and we also have to keep in mind that now we can understand him.
I love
he's a very different type of Groot from the original. He seems much more intelligent. Not a knock against the other Groot, but because we're spending a little bit more time with him and he's growing up with these characters, he's growing a little bit more of intelligence, which I like, which I think could make him very scary. And let's keep in mind, he is now King Groot by the end of the movie.
So are you considering this Groot? This is the Groot from Guardians 2 till now?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Oh, wait. He's Baby Groot in Guardians 2.
He's Baby Groot, yeah.
So end of Guardians 2 till now.
Basically. Teenage Groot, the super sassy teenage Groot until King Groot at the very end.
I'd put him 6 through 10 for now. Is he above Mantis?
No.
No.
I don't think so right now.
Okay. I'd go 6 through 10, probably dropping 11 through 15. I think Baby Groot's probably dropping the 16 through 20. So
everyone cool for right there for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
All right, High Evolutionary first
1 through
villain.
5. 1 through 5.
Wow.
Damn.
Look, okay, like
Damn.
they straight
Best
up
villain of the series for you, Gio?
they gave us straight evil. Yeah, over Ego.
I like
mean,
Ronan,
Ego
but
was evil, but like, God, what's his name? Oh my God, how do you pronounce his name?
Ronan
I'm
the
messing up
Accuser?
names
Oh,
all.
who?
The actor of the High Evolutionary.
I'm not trying that. No.
God damn, what's his
No,
name?
Look, great character. He did a great job, but like
Iwuju.
I don't know if I could put
this
him
is the
1
first
through
one
5.
where I think we're gonna have a big disagreement.
He'll
I
probably
don't know.
drop.
I think I can see him being. I would be okay putting him above Mantis in 6 through 10. I don't know if I'd put him in 1 through 5.
Maybe it's recency bias, but like me, like you guys know me, like villains. I'm like, you give me a very strong villain, one that, I just, he ain't right. He ain't, all there, but like so compelling.
I can't put him in the top tier, Gio, because he destroys animals. So.
Yeah, but I don't know. Didn't Thanos destroy animals too when he snapped?
Yes, he
half
did.
the universe.
Just didn't see it on screen. But so for me, like,
I'm not saying
I like Ronan more, and I don't think Ronan's gonna end up in the top 15. So I just but considering all of our thoughts, like, I think 6 through 10 makes sense.
Yeah, I think he'll drop.
I would place him 11 through 15. It sounds like Jake would go 6 through 10. Gio would go 1 through 5.
No, I'll go 6 through 10. I was saying place him in 1 through 5 right now, but I mean.
So, Jacob, you wouldn't put him over either Mantis or Groot.
So
I'm torn on. I wouldn't put him above Mantis. No way. And that's where I like now. Then I'm like, ooh, I don't know. After that,
yeah, I need to give Mantis a little bit more credit.
I'm okay with him being between Mantis and I guess.
So right here,
I like Mantis in Guardians 2. I like her in the Avengers movies. I like her in the special and Guardians 3. Like, and he's only in one movie for me. So like, that's the reason. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll leave him there for now. It can all change towards the end. All right, Adam Warlock. I think for the moment he's at least or at most 11 through 15.
I was gonna say 11 through
and
15.
Behind Baby Groot, right?
Behind Baby Groot.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, I go in front of Baby Groot.
Out of the two babies, I like Baby Groot more.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
and Gio's the one that didn't like him.
Yeah,
I like him more than Baby Groot.
Jacob, what about you? Before or after? You're the deciding factor.
You just hate positive things, Gio.
Jacob, you're the deciding factor before or after.
We got Baby Groot in one movie. We got him in one movie. Behind Baby Groot.
Okay.
All right, Cosmo.
Come on, Jacob. Go ahead.
I love Cosmo, but like she's above Taser Face.
I would say 16 through 20 right now.
Yeah, her and
high 16 through 20.
Yeah, above Taser Face. That's
above Taser Face. Yeah, her and Cracklin.
Some of these are because of limited screen time, honestly. Yeah. Like, if we get Cosmo in another movie, okay, now we can adjust it, but
yeah,
it's not a lot of screen time.
All right, current Gamora, Ravager Gamora.
I like her, but
so do I. I like her a lot.
Not more than the original Gamora.
No, she's not top tier, but I would say high 11 through 15, low 6 through 10. Somewhere around there. I ended up liking her a lot more than I thought I would. I loved what Gunn did with her.
Yeah.
I'm okay putting her above Baby Groot.
Yeah, I'd go high 11 through 15 for me. Just I mean, especially how, her character arc concludes in Guardians 3, her and Peter coming to terms that, maybe they were fun in another reality, but this one it just wasn't meant to be. And then
Even
her
though
celebrating, finding a
when
belonging
she-
with the Ravengers.
When she calls for the Ravagers to come pick her up, I was like, "What are you doing?" Like, I think she's smarter than that. In Guardians 3, when they leave her alone on the ship. Oh no, she sneaks behind their back to go call and talk the Ravagers, but then Warlock and his mom hear it and all that. So
Yeah.
All right, original Groot. He's high, man. He's got to be high. He's either high 6 through 10, low 1 through 5.
I'd say low 1 through 5 with the possibility that he will drop to 6 through 10.
yeah, that's fair for now.
But come on now.
And we only saw him in one movie, and this dude
The
is
crazy
legend.
thing, if you think of that character as a different character, it kind of changes like your perspective on it. Like, he really is different. Like, he acted different, behaved different. Like, he
We
seemed
are
like
Groot.
just I don't know. It's interesting.
All right, we have Korath, Jiamon Hansu's character from Guardians 1.
Where else did he appear? Oh, Captain Marvel.
He's in. Well, no, he's a different character. Oh yeah, no, he's the early version of him in Captain Marvel. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. I like the character. He was kind of goofy at times.
Is he above Taser Face?
That's where
he's above Taser Face.
Above or behind Taser Face for me.
He's above Taser Face.
I have Cosmo ahead of him.
Okay, Taser Face had less screen time, but Taser Face had more laughs for me than
Taser Face from Guardians 2. Like, that's one of the positives from Guardians 2.
Yeah.
I would put him over Taser Face.
I would put him behind Taser Face. I mean, like, who's more memorable? Who had more laughs? Jaimon Hansu, obviously, we all love him, okay? But for me, he's behind Taser Face.
Jacob?
I mean, I already said above, but like this is not the battle I want to go down with. Like, I don't care that much between Taser Face and him.
He can go above Taser Face.
Well, we have 2 votes for above, so technically that's what we're rolling with. So
there we go.
All right, Rocket, #1 draft pick, right?
I think he's top
1.
2.
I would put him right here for the moment.
Yeah.
Same.
That's where I would put him.
If we're talking just Guardians movies, yeah.
All right, Nathan Fillion's character from Guardians Volume 3.
21 through 25 for me.
Yeah,
like, it was
cool.
fun.
Like, I didn't mind him. He was funny, but
I thought he overstayed his welcome.
Peter Serafinowicz's character from Guardians 1.
What a bunch of a-holes.
Yep.
And
he
sacrificed himself.
I would put him over Glenn Close.
Yeah.
He had a little bit more of an important role. He helped try to save the galaxy, obviously.
I'd put him just behind Cosmo, me personally.
Jacob?
Really?
Recognizable face, made the sacrifice.
Yeah, no, you know what? I'm cool with that.
You're going to put him over Korath? Really?
Does Korath ever do anything like significant?
Well, he's just in the fight, and he found
who Star-Lord is.
Yeah, and originally he found the orb for Ronan.
Yeah, I would put him above Korath.
Okay.
I always think about his character from Couples Retreat.
Yeah, the counselor. Yeah. All right, so 16 through 20 is currently full. So if we ever get to a character that fits in that mold, we're gonna have to shift some things around.
Yeah.
Next one is a big one. We got Drax.
Behind Groot for now. In the
Which
1
Groot?
through 5.
Okay, so top tier, Jacob.
Yeah.
I would go 6 through 10, but at the top.
Really?
But I think he's going to end up in 6 through 10 either way.
Yeah, I think he'll end up. So I was saying for now, 1 through 5. Like,
I'm cool with putting him at the end and seeing what happens.
Yeah.
Oh. Ronan the Accuser.
you were the one who sent the message.
All right.
I like him a lot, and I'm being honest, I'd have to rewatch the movie. I do think he's probably the best villain out of the three.
He does betray Thanos, wields the power stone, but he doesn't do much after that. Like, he just sits on the throne. His ship crashes. He steps out. He's about to destroy, and then he gets fooled by Peter Quill dancing, and it's just so. I don't know. He's behind High Evolutionary for me. But I mean, subjectively speaking.
I mean, I already said that I like Ronan more than High Evolutionary. Now, the thing is,
That's
High Evolutionary talked a lot more than Ronan did, right? But to me, I don't know the exact words, but in the opening scene with Ronan the Accuser, he says something like about how his people have been treated terribly. And he's like, that's his motivation.
It's the treaty between Xandar and Kree.
And then he crushes the guy's head and you see the blood going down the thing. I'm like, damn, like this guy's not messing around. And then like, he's cool in Captain Marvel, whatever, but I really enjoyed his presence. Like he was intimidating. He was, So for me,
Lee Pace did great. Yeah.
For my vote is right above the High Evolutionary, but I know I'm okay being lower because based on your guys' decision, input.
Well, I already said I think he's my favorite villain of the three.
Yeah, so that puts him above High Evolutionary.
I wouldn't put him above Mantis personally.
I would agree. I would agree. Yeah.
All right,
Andy. Good point, Andy.
John C. Reilly's character from the original Guardians.
God, I wanted more.
He's so funny.
Okay, out of the three Nova officers, where does he stand? Think of it that way. I think he's probably in the middle.
Yeah, I would say he's behind Couples Retreat guy.
Peter Serafinowicz.
Thank you. Yeah, there you go. I'll let you say that.
And you like him more than Jabon Hansu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I like Korath more than John C. Reilly because he had more to do.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, we do see John C. Reilly's family at the end, and he does answer the call. And
I would put him behind Taser Face. Me. So we're kind of all around the same range.
Taser Face, man.
I do.
Gio, where do you stand? Where would you put him? You'd put him above Korath?
I would.
See, I'd put him behind Korath, and Jacob has him behind Taserface.
Well, Jake, come on. 30 seconds. Sell me on Korath real quick. Just I want to.
Well, he just had more to do. He was one of the first characters we saw in the movie. He has the famous line of "Who?" We would never know who Star-Lord is without him. He gets killed very cheesily, yes, but he is also in another movie with Captain Marvel, and he
does die a pretty brutal death.
They expanded on his story a little bit more than they did John C. Reilly, who we saw for a very, very short time. Sure.
Okay. Put him behind Korath. You got me. You got me. See, that's why we talk it out, guys. That's what Apocaflix
makes
now.
sense.
Sometimes we, put Glenn close at the freaking bottom.
All right, Nebula.
Oh my gosh.
I think Nebula's high, man. Her arc she's arguably had the best arc.
I put her above Drax.
I'd go right behind Gamora.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Right behind Gamora for me.
Ego.
This is gonna get really interesting.
Ego.
21 to 25.
It's Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell's having fun in the role. He's
I would go behind Cosmo. I would go behind Cosmo, evil. Realistically, right behind Cosmo.
He is evil, but
I would put him right behind Warlock personally.
That's where I was leaning.
That's fine. I mean, he's a way more significant character than Cosmo.
But I like him more than Baby Groot.
But I don't.
You don't? What about you, Jacob?
And Jacob has him lower than Cosmo.
So I don't.
Okay. So look, by that, yeah, Matt, he's
the problem with the movie. Like, Not the actor, the character.
Just real quick, guys. Gabby's about to get home, so I might have to hop off for like 30 seconds in case I go mute and run off, just in case.
Yeah.
All right, Star-Lord.
He's my number one.
Really?
He's my number one, hands down. Yes. Think about this. Okay. Star-Lord is I think he's perceived as a bumbling idiot, but he's not. He maybe he has been at times. But look, they introduce him. He's not a guy that like you think could be a leader, but he ends up being the leader of this team, and he leads them, to success. They become the Guardians of the Galaxy under his leadership, and obviously Gamora fell in love with him. So like for that, imagine this Gamora, like it was the same Gamora that we see, in Guardians 3, but like from a while ago, right? That hardcore, person who's like probably last thing on her mind is falling in love. She fell for him. And like, he is just a sweetheart and a funny guy. And like, to me, he's the underdog who everybody thinks is a dummy, but actually is really smart and figures it out at the end. And like, I think Peter deserves more respect. Think about it in Guardians 3. He's not fooling around. And think about this. This is what puts him at number one for me. As soon as he found out what happened to Rocket, he was pissed. He was so angry. Before that, they were taking out dudes with everybody other than the high evolutionaries people. Like they would tase them, right? Like when they're getting in fights, like when they infiltrated the nuclei building or whatever, right?
Yeah.
They were tasing people. He wasn't killing them. But when he went to the high evolutionaries, when they went to go, him and Groot went to fight the high evolutionary and their people, they killed all of them. Peter's like, no, you do that to my best friend, Rocket, you're dead. They kill all of them. He takes the scientist down and literally runs his head through the ground. Like, that's what you get for doing that to my best friend, and takes the thing off his head. Like, Star-Lord is not messing around. He's a G. So for me, Star-Lord is number one. Like, and think about all the stuff he's been through. That's just my argument. If you guys want to go Rocket, I'm totally fine with that. But that's just my argument for Star-Lord.
Gio, where do you stand?
I mean,
let me ask you this, Gio, and this might be revealing too much.
Well,
is your number one already on the board? Because I have a feeling I know where you're leaning.
Because
yes or no? It's simple.
Right now it's 3. I don't know, Jake.
Yes or no? Is your number one already on the board? Because mine is.
Yes.
Okay. Where would Star-Lord stand in comparison to that number one?
Right behind.
Okay. Is your number one our current number one?
Yes.
So is mine. So I think by pseudo factor,
yeah, I'm fine with that.
Star-Lord would sit right behind. Although personally, and this would just be my personal ranking, I would put Star-Lord behind both Gamora and Nebula.
See, that's where I was leaning to. But here's the thing: if we're talking about just the trilogy, I mean,
but Jacob, I
his
hear
mother
you on all points. I
Yeah.
hear you on
Yeah.
all points, man. Like I get it.
his
Like,
mother.
I just think he's like
Yeah.
I think you missed part of my argument, but
Yeah.
like his leadership ability, and everyone expects him like he's just a dummy. But
No,
that's not true.
I hear you on that.
And
Like,
like
he's
think
grown.
about how he in Guardians 3 when he tricks those guards or whatever, or he tricks that girl, and like he's able to like swindle people, and like that's a skill. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Like,
Are we comfortable with the way it looks right now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then Drax would come here. You cool with that?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. Aisha, leader of What's her name again? The Sovereign, right? The
Oh,
Sovereign?
yep, that's right.
She's cool. I mean, she's kind of a little bit of a head case.
Yeah.
I would probably put her no higher than behind Cosmo.
I think she goes behind Couples Retreat.
Peter Serafinowicz.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I would have her in that range.
Okay, so above Korath. She has a little bit more to do.
Yeah.
So then Taser Face will be moved right down.
She has a prominent role in 2 movies, so
yeah. Okay. All right, our boy Yondu. This gets interesting.
I freaking love Yondu.
This gets interesting. Many people would arguably have Yondu at number 1.
Yeah, and I don't blame them.
And I thought that's where Gio was leaning.
All right, so I'll just say right now, I put him right behind Nebula.
I put him right behind Rocket.
I wouldn't go that high. I think because of the arc, I would probably put him behind Nebula, no higher than behind Nebula as well. So I think Nebula and Gamora, the arcs that they had, not just individually but with each other, are
each other and Thanos and all that.
It's the fault of the fact that we didn't get as much time with Yondu because of what happened.
Exactly.
That's just how it rolls out. I think Yondu is an incredible character, and I'm not arguing whatsoever at having him at 2 or 1. I think it's a totally good argument that you can make.
It's a toss-up, honestly, because I mean, you can make the argument Guardians 2 is his movie. You know, from the moment where he stands with the Ravengers and how he
and the Christmas special.
Yeah. Thank you. Wow, I didn't even think about that.
Like Jake, to your point, like Gamora and Nebula, and all 4 of those at the top 4, their stories have been fleshed out so much in Guardians and Avengers movies that like we've got to experience them more.
Like imagine what Rocket and Nebula have been through. They were the only ones to survive the snap. Their relationship, how it got so much stronger during those 5 years, like to the point where Rocket's building her an arm and Nebula's freaking out over Rocket dying, and like their arcs have been completely fleshed out. Nebula having to face another version of herself, being dismantled by her father. Like, there's a lot to argue that Nebula could be number 1 for a lot of people. I think, I don't know.
Gio, like you're firm at number 2. Like it's not even a question for you.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that's how
I'm just
strong
curious, Gio,
his arc was.
This was your own list. Who would be number 3? This was just your list.
See, if I'm basing it just off the Guardians movies,
based off of everything.
Oh, so every appearance that they've had, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I have to throw in What If, and I'm like, I love that story with Yondu and T'Challa, and one of the best episodes.
Cool too. I mean, I think we're hovering around like now. We kind of decided top 5. It's just where
I would fight for as long as I need to. I don't think he deserves to be over Nebula. Nebula is strong,
and if you think about Nebula's story in Endgame, like damn.
Mm-hmm. I'm okay with him being top 5. I'm okay with him being top 5.
Yeah, I personally think if we put him here and did this, and then did this,
great. Because
our top 5 is locked. Personally, in my opinion,
like that's. I mean, it's not like these 2 are gonna. I love these guys, but well, I love one of them actually.
Yeah.
So I think that's our top 5, no question.
Yeah, that's a fantastic top 5.
That's a fantastic top 5. All right, Kraglin.
He really grew on me in the Guardians special and in
I mean, he's been in everything. He has been in everything.
I'd put him right above Baby Groot.
Really?
I mean, you think about, okay, so in the second movie, how the ones who are loyal to Yondu, get outed. Literally, they get sent to space and they die. And Kraglin's right there thinking, oh my God, what have I done? And like he sees his captain like getting beaten, and then like he's so apologetic and like he kind of redeems himself through helping defeat Ego, takes on the Arrow and what that means. The way he cries at the end because Yondu, his captain, is getting the I forget what they call it, but the Ravager color.
It's like the ceremony to for his death.
Yeah, I would have liked to see more. Go ahead. Yeah,
I would put him above Gamora 2.0.
Oh, I wouldn't. No.
The second Gamora, what does she do? Think about it. She shows up in Endgame and she's in this movie. What does she do? Nothing.
What she's she
I think his story is more prominent than I think because she's more popular than him, obviously, but he's been all the movies. I would put him above her for sure. But
I mean, Gamora's the reason the Ravengers. Go ahead.
I would feel comfortable putting him right behind her. I wouldn't put her over though.
I would say above Baby Groot, behind.
So
New
that's
Gamora.
where you guys vote, and I vote above. So then he goes behind Gamora. Yeah, that's fine.
So that's what it. Oh,
yeah, that makes sense.
No.
And then our favorite character.
All right, the collector. The collector.
Such a this could have been great.
He could have been fantastic, but what a bummed out just fuse that his.
I almost want to say because they ruined it last, honestly. But
I go above Glenn Close.
You would put him in down there? We're putting. Are we putting Taser Face above the collector?
Is he in Guardians 2 or no? Or is he only in Guardians 1?
He died. Yes, he's in Guardians 2, isn't he? I think he's in Guardians 2.
No.
What? Well, technically he's in Infinity War, but it's not him.
Well, he died, doesn't he?
Did he?
It's a mirage. So, but Thanos
everything was burned in nowhere. They destroyed.
Was that nowhere? So that was.
Well, yeah, the Power Stone destroyed nowhere.
Yeah,
in the first
he just
movie.
destroyed it all. So technically, he died.
But wait, did they rebuild nowhere?
Yeah, it's all buildings now. I don't know.
Well, they didn't rebuild it, but they bought nowhere in the special
after Thanos destroyed it. Oh man, no, you're right, Jake. But I'm just how does that work, canon wise? But honestly, his appearance in Infinity War brings his character down for me. So,
he was a super cool character, and he kind of just became a throwaway character at the very end. Honestly, I would be fine. I would be fine with him anywhere behind Cosmo. Anywhere behind Cosmo.
I agree. Anywhere behind Cosmo.
If he's in 21-25 at the very top of it, cool. If he's at the end of 16 to 20, cool.
Because he's more important than all those characters, I think, after Cosmo.
He is. And Korath is cool. I love Korath. He had some stuff to do in the first movie. But ultimately, we have to think of it this way. As much as we didn't like the story of the Collector, he is the reason we know about the Infinity Stones.
Oh, he did explain it to us.
He's the reason we know about the Celestials. He's the reason we know about the Infinity Stones. He's the reason we have Cosmo, Howard the Duck. There's a lot.
And honestly, he's not bad in the first one. I just think we thought the character was going to do more in the future. And I
think he can fit right there perfectly, personally.
I'm good with that.
Gio, Gio, come on now. Speak your mind.
Is he above Couples Retreat? I don't know. Fuck.
I think he is. He's important to the overall storytelling of the
He is important. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
All right. Let's say you did a montage of important MCU scenes. That would be in it.
And
him explaining the Infinity Stones.
The entire Disneyland ride is his collection. So.
And man, remember how hyped we got with that post-credit scene in Thor: The Dark World where we saw him and.
Oh wow, I forgot about that.
How do we feel, guys?
That's
all right. Top 5 is locked. 6 through 10. Yeah. 11 through 15. Is that King Groot above Gamora?
Yeah. It's the current Groot.
Oh, it's basically the Groot from Guardians 3.
Which eventually turns into King Groot.
Oh, right. and the Christmas special.
And the Christmas special, yeah.
How do you feel about Ego above? Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
put,
Ego where he's at. I think Ego
yeah,
works well
I put
there. He's
Ego
not
above
terrible,
Cosmo.
but he's also like I think the potential with Ego was much higher if they didn't go the route they did with him.
Yeah.
And Cosmo could very well jump once we see more of her, you know. I think Ego sits where he's at currently just because he has so much impact on what happens to Peter, obviously. And Mantis. I mean, we wouldn't get Mantis without him. So that's a big deal.
I think Glenn Close should be moved down one.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
I don't agree with that at all.
Wow.
No.
Nathan, I can't remember one time I laughed with Glenn Close on screen.
We're not supposed to laugh with her.
It's a Marvel movie, though. Come on.
That doesn't. Okay.
No, I agree because like, you know, she has an important role in that movie, but Nathan Fillings was just like a cameo, throw-in fun type thing. So
he's in all 3 movies, which is funny.
Yeah,
as different characters.
Who is he?
I'm
in
okay
Volume
with
2?
this list.
He plays. Let me look it up. He plays. What's this character's name? I was looking at the cast earlier to make sure I got all the characters right. He plays a character called Simon Williams.
In the first one, he's the alien that Groot like sticks his things up his nose, right? Yeah.
And for those asking about like the original or the Ravager Guardians, like Sylvester Stallone and stuff, they have cameos. They don't really
Just
do
wasn't
a
enough
whole
screen
lot.
time. Yeah.
It's kind of similar as to why I didn't use Lila, Floor, and Teefs. Just didn't want to go down that road. They have obviously prominent roles, but trying to rank animals that get absolutely murdered is awful. And trying to rank characters that we get very little screen time of is just it's not very fun. So
yeah, and even to be honest, it was hard to rank like some of these characters, like even like the Glenn Close character, it was hard to rank.
Well, and I included some of them just to get an even number of 25.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest. Like,
yeah,
it was around. I think it was around like 21, 22, and then I added Taser Face. I added Nathan Fillion's character, and I think I added obviously John C. Reilly and Peter Serafinowicz. So, but they all have prominent roles. Like they have decent enough roles of the movies to have an impact. Like they're all characters that have an impact on what's happening. I think the list is great. I think it's a really good list. I would obviously make some individual changes, but
yeah,
I think it ends up pretty good. So
I like it.
Yeah, I mean,
solid. Yeah.
Okay, let me ask this before we close up, guys. What would be the one character that you would move and where?
Great question. I know mine. Do you guys know yours?
I know mine.
I'll just go. I would personally, I would move Cosmo right above Baby Groot. That's the only change I would make. Or that's the number one change I want to make.
Okay.
I mean, no. I'd kind of leave it the way it is. I thought about Yondu above Gamora, but if you're talking about all their appearances, then you can't top Nebula,
Infinity War, right?
Gamora, and all that.
And both of them, both of those movies.
I would move New Gamora up above Ronan.
Damn. Nice.
Yeah, I could see that, but I'm high on the High Evolutionary too. So
well, there it is. Our Guardians ranking, guys.
Can I ask really quick, where does Peter rank on your guys' personal lists? Like
top 5.
Top 5, yeah.
So I haven't actually done the ranking, which I would love to, but I would do Rocket, Nebula, Gamora. No, Rocket, Nebula, Peter, Gamora, Yondu would be my 5.
Yeah, that's funny. I have the same, but in different order.
Peter would be my number 3. I think Nebula is such a great character. She
really is, man. Especially like in Endgame when like if you consider her other she had to kill herself, like her other version of herself.
Yeah,
crazy.
Damn,
cool.
That's a good list. That's a good list, though.
List. That was
feel good about that
Linking
one.
Characters, that was fun. That's
yeah.
It's tough, but we can definitely do that with a ton of franchises if we really wanted to, which is really cool. So, all right, guys. Well, there it is. Our official ranking of all of the major characters in Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. Mainly ones that appear in just the movies, but obviously some of them cross over into Avengers movies and beyond. If you guys have a top 5 characters, we would love to hear them in the comment section. For those of you watching live, just go ahead and comment on the video. More traction for the video would be great. For those watching on the playback, leave your top 5 Guardians characters in the comment section. We would love to hear from you guys. Anybody listening on audio, do the same. We want to see those lists to see where everybody is kind of at. A variety of characters, I'm sure, is what we're going to see. So, any final words, gentlemen, before we wrap this bad boy up?
Oh, man, it was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Get ready to go into the world of Fast and Furious. Make sure I got my beers this time.
I think
Can't
next week, that would be a great character ranking, the Fast and Furious franchise. Oh, my God.
There we go. There we go.
That's a lot of characters right there. That is a lot of characters.
Man, you got Hector, you got Ja Rule, you got...
Okay,
Wow.
well, anyway. I think most of us are getting a chance to see it this weekend. So more than likely next week, it will be some sort of Fast and Furious talk happening on the show. If not, just a review, maybe a ranking.
Jake, we'll rank the cars from Fast and Furious. How about
we can
that?
rank the cars. That would be cool. You know,
Jake
I'd be
would
down.
love that.
But go ahead and check out all of the links are in the description for all of our channels, social medias, anywhere that you can find us. They are all down there. Go ahead and check those out. We really appreciate everyone watching, hanging out with us live every week. It's a lot of fun talking with you guys. Again, leave all of those in the comment section of the video, not the live chat, comment section, so they are there for everyone to see. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you guys next week, guys. Adios.